Hey guys, welcome to today's video. This is my week 5 predictions video. So let's get started. I did not unfortunately have time to get my week 4 picks up last week. I apologize for that. My last video upload was my week 3 picks. I went 7 and 9 on my week 3 picks. So hopefully week 5 is a little bit different than the last time I posted my picks week 3. Let's get started. The Colts and the Patriots. Thursday Night Football in Foxborough. I really think that what the Patriots always do is they have off-season questions. Is so-and-so going to be healthy? Will they be fine without this person? This person left. Will they be the same? They have so many off-season questions, and then they start off the first quarter of the regular season with a slow start, slow to Patriot standards, being like 2-2, or even like, who knows, like somewhere around there. So I really think that this really is kind of how the Patriots always fool people and say maybe Brady is not as good as he once was. Maybe Belichick is not as good as he once was. And people have been fooled by that so many times. I don't know why they haven't learned that the Patriots are going to be fine. They're going to be fine. They're going to move to 3-2 tonight and beat a Colts team coming off a tough loss last week. That's really just can't match up with the Patriots. The Patriots' run game has been great. Really like their running back tandem. Expect a big game from Sonny Michel tonight. I really think the Patriots are the better team on paper and on the field. Pats could go to 3-2. Then second, we got the Tennessee Titans and the Buffalo Bills. And I don't know if you could hear the phone ringing in the background. If so, just ignore it. I'm sorry about that. The Tennessee Titans, first-year head coach Mike Vrabel, they've gone off to a really nice start with him. Beat the defending champs in overtime last week in a 26-23 thriller against a Bills team that I just don't think. Yeah, they had that one great game against the Vikings, but I don't really view them as a team that'll pose a threat. And I really think Tennessee, like in the AFC South, people think, well, it's going to be Houston or Jacksonville that's going to win that division. But I really think the Titans could be a dark horse to. They will make the playoffs. Tennessee will make the playoffs. I will tell you that. But I'm not ruling out the idea of them being a dark horse team that, who knows, might be able to sneak into the AFC Championship. I don't know. I think they're kind of under the radar. They're not getting as much attention as they should be. They're 3-1. They go to 4-1. The Giants, we thought they were better than they were last year. They're not seeming much better. Carolina is coming off a bye. They're well rested. They're at home. They get this win. Okay, if you talk about, it's crazy how you have the most two overhyped, over-exaggerated team in playing each other. The Cincinnati Bengals. Okay, yeah, you beat the Colts. They're not that great. You beat Baltimore. Okay. You beat Atlanta, who's been struggling. I don't see either of these 3-1 teams making the playoffs or finishing above 500. I think they just kind of have fooled everyone. I don't really see either of these teams really being in the picture when it comes like playoff time. I think they'll be out of it. I really don't see either of these teams getting 8 wins to finish it off. But I'm taking Cincy at home only because I like their defense better, and I really think that Miami showed us they're not a legit contender because they can't even compete with the Patriots, who are the contender in that division, even though the Dolphins are winning the division right now. But the Patriots, like I said, they don't always start off slow. They usually only lose 3-4 games a year, but usually 2 of those losses come in the first quarter, or at least first 6 games of the season. The Patriots will win the AFC East. Miami and Cincinnati are not contenders. They will not make the playoffs. Come January, you're gonna remember this video and think, oh my gosh, he was right. The Bengals will not be in the playoffs. The Dolphins will not be in the playoffs come January. Calling it now. They're overrated. All right, the AFC North action, Ravens and Browns. Okay, Baker Mayfield led the Browns to 42 points in his first NFL start, meaning he started the game, I should say. The Ravens have been a good team. They played a Steelers team with a lot of questions, and that have started off to a disappointing. But I think the Browns will get back to 500 and win this AFC North battle at home because I have faith in Baker Mayfield. Because Baker Mayfield, when he stepped onto that field on that Thursday night debut against the Jets in prime time, short notice, down 14-3, he looked like an NFL-ready quarterback, and that's exactly what it is. This Browns team is already so much better than they were last year. They've already won more games than they did last year. Haha, they didn't win any last year. I'm so funny. But seriously, though, this Browns team is better. And this Browns team, I don't think they're quite at a playoff level this year, but they're going to be better this year, and they could play spoiler for some teams down the stretch. But right now, they still want to win. They still want to contend. even though I don't think they will down the stretch. But for now, anybody could still do anything in this league. I think Browns win. Okay, the Packers. I really feel like the Packers had a nice bounce back game against the Bills because I feel like the Bills, once they beat the Vikings, people were like, is Buffalo for real? They're not. I feel like Detroit beat the Patriots, but I don't really think Detroit is that good because other than that Patriots game, I mean, who'd they lose to? They lost to Dallas, they lost to the Jets, and then before that, oh, wait, who am I missing? It'll come to me. Who did Detroit lose to week 2? San Francisco with Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't really think Detroit is that good. I think Aaron Rodgers is back. I think the Packers' offense is back, and their defense played phenomenal last week. The Packers get the win. Now this is a good one. The Jacksonville Jaguars taking on Patrick Mahomes and the 4-0 Kansas City Chiefs. KC has been firing on all cylinders. The one of the 2 undefeated teams remaining, the Kansas City Chiefs are. The Rams being the other one. We'll get to them a little bit later. Chiefs are at home. Their offense is significantly better than the Jaguars. Mahomes is significantly better than Bortles. And I really think the Chiefs has the edge because of the quarterback position. Because Patrick Mahomes, the way he's been just slinging the ball around. And once we saw Patrick Mahomes complete the comeback against the Denver Broncos on Monday Night Football, that was the signal that this isn't just a first quarter of the season field goal story. Patrick Mahomes is good, and he can lead the Chiefs to a division title and maybe more. The Chiefs go to 5-0, and Jacksonville drops to 3-2. I don't really see the Jags putting up many points in this game against the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs defense is gonna give Blake Bortles lots of trouble. Broncos and Jets. Denver had a lead late on Monday, and they lost it, but the Jets, 3 straight losses. I think they snap it here. I really think that the Jets, they're a developing team. Sam Darnold is a developing quarterback. We've seen a lot of good things from him. We've seen a lot of bad things from him. But this is a game that I think this will be a low-scoring defensive affair. But I think the Jets will come out on top. Okay, this is probably the game that if I could call this Falcons-Steelers game something, it's like the 2 teams that are supposed to be Super Bowl contenders, but they're not good. Why are they not good? Game. Because really, if I told you the Falcons would be 1-3 and the Steelers would be 1-2-1 and probably should be 1-3, would you be surprised? You told me that before the season started. I sure would have been surprised, and I really am surprised. Even though the Steelers have been without Le'Veon Bell, James Conner has been serviceable, so you can't blame much of it on that. Atlanta has lost some close games, including Week 1 to Philly. They lost in overtime to New Orleans, and they lost in the final seconds to Cincinnati. So the Falcons are not a bad team. They've been right there to being in every game. They're really not far from being a 4-0 football team. But I really think you could say the same for the Steelers. The Steelers, they led 21-7 at one point in the second half in that game against the Browns. That one got away from them. I know there's a little distraction with the Le'Veon Bell situation, but I really think that Pittsburgh's offense should bounce back in this game because I feel like the offense has generally been okay, but I think it needs a full team effort because usually either when the offense is good, defense is bad. Defense is good, offense is bad in Steelers game. I think this will be a close one, and I think the Steelers will go to 500 and the Falcons will drop to 1-4. But when the Falcons drop to 1-4, that record is going to make that team seem a lot worse than they are. Even though the Falcons will lose this game, they will make the playoffs. Call me crazy, but they will. Raiders and the Chargers. I'm a little concerned that the Chargers could only beat C.J. Beathard-led San Francisco 49ers by 2 points. So I'm going with the Raiders. Oh, boy. Sorry about that. I'm going with the Raiders because I think that, like I said, the Raiders are right there. They lost a close one to Denver. Okay, week 1 maybe not so close, but they lost a close one to Denver. And I feel like John Gruden's a good coach. Slow start, but I really am taking the Raiders in this one. So, and that's because I have faith in Derek Carr and that offense, and I think last week is kind of a turning point to their season. I think that game is going to turn around the Raiders' season. Raiders get the win. Okay, did anyone expect the Eagles to be 2-2 at this point? Well, I sure did. Did anybody expect the Titans to beat the Eagles last week? Well, I sure did. I didn't post my picks, but I did have Tennessee winning that game because, again, I think Tennessee could be a little dark horse down the stretch And I don't think the Eagles are gonna be as good as they were last year. I think the Eagles contending was really a one-time thing. Minnesota um, they should have won that game against Green Bay. Um, they really should have won that game against Buffalo. That was a team they should have beat. They were huge favorites in that game. I just think they really kind of thought they won before they even stepped on the field, which you can't do at any level of football or any level of any sport, really. But I think the Eagles are a decent team. Are they a Super Bowl team this year? Absolutely not. But they get back over 500. Okay, the only winless team in the NFL, the Arizona Cardinals. They've been so close. Back-to-back games they've lost by 3 points or less. Is this the week they get the win and get the chip off their shoulder, I guess you could say, because you don't really want to have must-win games in week 5, but this is a must-win game. The winless Cardinals versus C.J. Beathard and the 49ers. Do the Cardinals get their first win? They do. The Cardinals get a much-needed win and pull even with the 49ers in the standings because I think Josh Rosen did decent last week, and I think he'll do better this week, and I think the Cardinals are better than that 0-4 record. They're not great, but they're better than that 0-4 record, and I think Steve Wilkes and Josh Rosen get their first wins as Arizona Cardinals. Okay, Rams, the early front runners in the NFC West, and one of the 2 undefeated teams left, along with Kansas City, who talked about earlier. The Rams are great. They're awesome. They've done everything great. They've won at home. They've won on the road. They've had great plays, great players. That defense, I mean, you got the cornerbacks, and then you got the great pressure from the D-line with led by Aaron Donald. I think that the Rams win this game. I think it'll be close, but I don't think Seattle's anything close to what they used to be back when they made those back-to-back Super Bowl appearances. Rams go to 5-0, extend their NFC West lead. Sunday Night Football, Battle of Texas. Cowboys and the Texans, both teams coming off clutch wins last week. Cowboys won against Detroit. Texans won a thriller against the Colts in Indy. I always think that when the Texans play the Cowboys, I don't know if you can call it a rivalry, but I really feel like when these two get together, it's intense because obviously same state, but it's almost kind of like the little brother trying to beat up the big brother in a sense, with the Texans being the much younger brother of the Texas football household, if you will. And then you got the Cowboys, America's team, lots of history, championships, Super Bowls, all that. So that's really what it's like. And this is really kind of old and new, little brother, big brother type football. I think Deshaun Watson outduels Dak Prescott, and the Texans win their second straight and get a much-needed win as they try to salvage their season and not fall too far behind in the AFC South. Okay, Monday Night Football, Redskins and Saints. The Saints kind of worried us after week 1, but they've done great since. They win their 4th in a row on Monday Night Football. They get Melvin Ingram back, so he'll be able to split some carries with Kamara, who's also done great. Drew Brees will do great. The Redskins, I don't really view them as a contender. Saints win this one. Alright, so that's my week 5 picks. Thank you guys for watching. I'll just scroll up through them one more time. The team bolded and in blue letters is the one I've got winning this week. As always, feel free to comment your predictions, your thoughts on my predictions, any other football-related stuff you got. Like and subscribe. There you guys have it. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the NFL this week. Should be lots of fun games. See you next video.